Hello, you.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Ed. Welcome back to Real Thrills. We're two mates.
Let's debate. Today, we're going to be talking about the fact that I like The Dark Crystal.
And I like The Karate Kid 1984.
But which is better?
Let's find out.
There's only one way to find out. Fight! My favourite film is older than yours.
When did yours come out?
Mine came out in I think it's the November of 1982.
So that's only a couple years older. Not by much.
Yeah, only 2 years older. It's not bad. Right? And my one, obviously, is very different to yours.
Well, mine is I suppose, a sports movie as well as a coming-of-age film.
Yeah, and my one is a puppet adventure film.
Very different.
They're very different in tone.
And as you can see, I'm very biased.
Yeah.
And he has nothing to represent his film.
The Dark Crystal, obviously,
I've seen it.
I've talked about it. This man has seen it. I haven't seen his favourite film.
No, I don't know. How insulting.
Anyway, but anyway, my favourite film obviously has it's about the mystics and the Skeksis and the Gelflings. And the Gelflings, basically, he has to like restore the Dark Crystal and bring like hope to the planet. It's basically a play on Star Wars.
Except by Jim Henson.
Yeah, and it features no people whatsoever.
And just puppets.
And it features his beloved puppets, which, oh, that's why I like it, really, because, you know, that man conveys emotion in a puppet's face, not on an actual human face, which is a challenge and a half. What about yours?
Okay, so is this the story then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
So mine, and most of you have seen probably The Karate Kid because it's a cult classic at this point. But The Karate Kid is essentially a kid that gets bullied by another guy called Johnny Lawrence, and he is like a karate master. Well, he's not a master, but he's like a black belt, and he's famous for Cobra Kai, which is obviously one of my favourite shows of all time.
Which is over here in the corner.
You can't see it.
You can't see it on the camera, but
it
is there.
Anyway, he's big on the Cobra Kai, and they're more violent and they're more aggressive. But what they're taught is no mercy. So he just shows this kid Daniel no mercy, and he gives him a really hard time at school. So bullies him a lot, and that's really relatable to a lot of us, I think.
Yeah,
because we've all been bullied, or a lot of people have been bullied.
I mean, especially if you live in the UK.
Yeah, and
you've been bullied.
This is based in America. But anyway, he meets this mentor, Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. Miyagi is a karate master, and he's also a war veteran. Mm-hmm. And he finds Daniel. Daniel lies to his mum about everything going on.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want to feel
Well, that's kind of realistic, because someone being bullied doesn't really tell anyone.
And also, he's moved to a new place. And then the bullying starts when he moves to this new place. But his mum seems to think it's a wonderful place. She's delusional to what's going on. And then Daniel obviously reveals the truth to Mr. Miyagi. But Mr. Miyagi finds out when he sees that Daniel gets beaten up again. So Mr. Miyagi beats up the students of Cobra Kai.
Oh, that's cool.
Except this now pisses off the other teacher, John Kreese of Cobra Kai.
Right.
So he wants to settle this once and for all. And he says, we'll settle this at a tournament, a karate tournament.
Oh, okay, right.
And this is where the sports side of it comes in, because Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel karate.
I mean, it's a pretty good story, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a very simple story. But it's
both of our films have very simple stories.
Yeah, but it makes them good.
But it works.
Okay, now I want to know argument as to why your film is better.
I mean, my film is better. It's better because there's no humans in it to back the puppets.
Okay.
In fact, you going through the plot of the film, you have to actually like believe in like the puppets, what they convey and stuff, and
the emotions they convey.
You know,
okay.
And you obviously have to look at them as like, oh, they're the people.
Yep.
Right. Obviously, in Karate Kid,
there are people in it.
There are people in it, so you can relate to their faces and their emotions. However, in the Dark Crystal, you have to end up conveying like the faces of the puppets and like going like, yeah, why are the Skeksis evil? Like, why do the mystics want to, like, why are they like exiled? Like, you know, like what's the big point as you go through the film? You know, it's like, you know, when they meet the podlings for the first time, you have to go, right, okay, why are the Skeksis then kidnapping these guys?
Yeah.
and then you figure it out that they use the Podlings as like they sap their like essence and then like have to use it as thing. So effectively, going through the entire plot of the film, you really have to accept the facts and like you have to believe what the puppets are conveying on their faces, because if you don't, it just doesn't work.
Okay.
You know, it's a little bit harder.
Well, it's Karate Kid. You don't have to do that.
You know, you see all the people, you believe their motivations, you believe all of the stuff. With the puppets, you have to basically treat them as human beings.
Also, with the Karate Kid, a lot more people can relate to this film, whereas not many people will be able to relate.
Yeah.
In a way, to the Dark Crystal.
No, of course they won't, because it's set in a fantasy world where basically everything is made up. Whereas in the Karate Kid, most of the lessons taught in the film
you can use for life.
You can effectively apply to life.
Yes, exactly.
You know, it's like Yoda in Star Wars.
Also, the music, obviously, for the Karate Kid is so iconic at this point.
I mean, the music for the Dark Crystal is iconic as well.
So I'd say they're both equal on that front.
I'd say they're both equal in musical score, considering the guy that did the music for the Dark Crystal, Trevor Jones, also did the music for The Labyrinth with David Bowie, right? And I think the score is very... I think the score is very it's very mythical and very very fantasy based. However, who did the score for your film?
I thought it was Bill Conti, I think, that did the score.
All right, and mostly isn't it mostly songs?
No, actually.
Do they actually have
the score for Mr. Miyagi is very calming, and it's
Okay.
like it brings this like edge of harmony and hope. And you look at Mr. Miyagi as like a father figure. You look up. That's what Karate Kid is essentially about. Like a father, someone to look up to. Because Daniel doesn't have a father. His father died when he was young. So Mr. Miyagi is essentially that father figure that fills that role. And you feel that in the music and the it's very powerful music.
Yeah.
But yes, also you do have the kick-ass score of the "You're the Best Around."
Yeah, that's the
which is so iconic from the film.
I've not seen the film, but I've heard that song and it is really iconic.
Yeah, so yeah, "You're the Best Around." It's a very motivating song, and fits.
You can even make that a meme by like having like a slow-mo shot of like someone doing this.
And then also Joe Espioto, I think his name is Joe Espioto or something like that. The guy that did the song for it, that sung it, obviously, so iconic. Everyone knows
it is iconic. Like
You're
people,
the best around.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was followed on basically from Rocky. It was like connected to that.
Yeah.
Because they wanted originally to get the guy from Rocky. I can't remember the exact thing, but they wanted someone that did the Rocky score to do the Karate Kid, and I'm pretty sure it's a very similar vibe.
Yeah, but so you're saying the score has a very similar vibe to Rocky most of the time.
It's very motivational, and it's like
I mean, there are pieces of the Dark Crystal score that do come back and like do reprise throughout the film. Like there's a bit where it's like da 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 da, and it's like near enough in every song. Like
also,
that motif.
another thing I think, okay, the Dark Crystal can win is its sets and its overall puppet design and the world that is brought to life, because the Karate Kid's very basic, because it is just...
I mean, it is set in America, and it is like set at real places. Like you can actually probably go and see...
visit these places, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just set... It's obviously the Karate Gis, and the Mr. Miyagi thing is the only thing that you can't... That was actually a set created, Mr. Miyagi's home and the dojo. That is cool. But the rest of it is actual locations that you can visit, whereas the set design that Jim Henson had to create is insane.
And Brian Froud, he had a hand in it as well.
Both of them did a brilliant job bringing the world of it to life, which I think that's what the Dark Crystal has over
and because everything in the Dark Crystal is fantasy and it's not the real world, you effectively can't go to like and visit like the filming locations of the place. I think the only like filming location that you can actually still visit that's still standing today, because it's effectively a countryside, is the Scottish Highlands.
The rest of it
doesn't exist no more
because it was at Pinewood,
because
right?
most of it was a set at Pinewood, and most of it was just specifically constructed for the film,
which is a shame, but hey ho.
Yeah.
But I think another major thing that my film may have over yours is the action is better. I
mean, there's no action in...
I mean, there is a tiny bit, but it's not really like...
the karate... The action in the Dark Crystal, basically, There's not much, considering you can't do much with puppets. Because they're not fully grown puppets. These are like string hand puppets. So you can't really do much.
Whereas the Karate Kid has got a lot of hype moments in it.
There is one iconic fight scene in the Dark Crystal that they could do because the puppets, they were like inside them, I think. And that was the scene where the Chamberlain and the guy that ends up becoming the Emperor, I can't remember his name, basically they have a sword fight over a stone.
Yeah.
And that's probably the most like action it ever gets.
Yeah.
Right. However, in your film, yeah, you've got like karate fights and you've got like choreographed stuff. So it's very different.
This is why it's hard to compare these films, because they're both
very iconic. They're both very epic, and and to be completely honest, both of them, you know, from how Ed is describing the Karate Kid here, because I've never seen it, it sounds like a film worth watching.
It is. It's so worth watching. And
yeah,
the actors do an amazing job in it, but I just don't think we can decide.
I don't think this one has a winner. No,
I'd say it's a draw.
I say that we have, in terms of well, if we want to link this back to theme parks and Alton Towers, this is a duel.
A duel.
So this is a duel,
and there's no winner.
Yeah, there's no winner for us. However, if you think there's a winner and you want to put it down in the comments and argue your points, then we'll read them and we'll consider a winner.
But this was hard. This was a hard debate because both films are so drastically different. But
yes,
both brilliant. So yeah, it was a hard one to decide, but there is no winner. So I've been Ed.
I've been Jordan.
You've been you. And that's a wrap.
Goodbye.
Real thrills.